Hello to all astrology enthusiasts. Today we are discussing retrograde Mercury, our beloved Mercury, which starts moving in the opposite direction on August 5th. And throughout the month we will in fact have changes in our daily affairs, and actually these changes will be noticeable. Retrograde Mercury, of course, certainly affects many things in our lives. Let's discuss how it will act and its specific retrograde characteristics in two zodiac signs, because Mercury is retrograde in both Virgo and the zodiac sign Leo. And before we look into the details of this retrograde movement, note that there are videos on the channel about Mercury transits through the zodiac sign Leo and Mercury transits through the zodiac sign Virgo. To understand how this planet works in our lives, what it influences, how it reflects, how its energies and qualities affect our daily affairs, our thinking, and many life processes, be sure to definitely re-watch the video about these Mercury transits. Mercury is in retrograde from August 5th until the end of the month. Before we consider its retrograde motion, let me remind you that Mercury is the planet primarily responsible for our thinking, communication, documents, news, and information. And this is the planet that is connected with our mind, our communication, trade, commerce, education, and naturally, our movements and travels. In general, Mercury plays a very important role in astrology. It is considered one of our personal planets, and it influences many aspects of our lives. First of all, communication and interaction with the people around you. This includes verbal, written, and non-verbal communication. It is Mercury that determines how we express our thoughts and ideas, how we listen, how we perceive information from others, and how we convey it to those around us. Additionally, Mercury represents our thinking, our intellect, and cognitive processes in general. It is associated with logical thinking, analysis, and information processing. It is the planet that affects our ability to solve problems, learn, and remember information. Additionally, Mercury plays a key role in the process of learning and education. It essentially governs our ability to acquire new knowledge. Mercury is also associated with teaching activities and the transfer of knowledge to others. Mercury is indeed also about commerce, trade, and business. It affects our ability to negotiate, make deals, and manage finances. And Mercury is also associated with marketing and advertising. Additionally, it influences our trips and our travels. Mercury governs all kinds of travel, whether short trips or long journeys. That is, it is responsible for our mobility, for our ability to quickly move from one place to another. Mercury also shows us the connection with technology and information. That means computers, phones, the internet, any gadgets, any means of communication, and this also includes vehicles. And in principle, Mercury demonstrates our adaptability, our ability to change, to adjust to changing environmental conditions, and makes us more flexible, more capable of quickly responding to new situations. Of course, depending on which sign and house of the horoscope Mercury is located in on your natal chart, it manifests differently, and it also depends on the aspects it makes with other planets. Thus, its influence manifests in a person's life. Currently, Mercury is in Virgo. It rules this sign of the zodiac and begins its retrograde at 5 degrees of Virgo. It will complete its retrograde motion on August 29th. Consider the stationary periods. And naturally, it can be said that confidently all matters will start to pick up speed from September 1st, 2024, 10/24. And so how does Mercury behave in Virgo? Let me remind you, I have a video on my channel for all zodiac signs, and I want to specifically look at the retrograde of the planet in this sign and how this retrograde will manifest in our lives. Firstly, retrograde in general holds extremely significant importance in astrology and has a particular influence on those areas of life governed by the given planet. In general, the retrograde of a planet always gives us delays and slowdowns, always makes us rethink and review, always brings us back to the past and offers the opportunity to dive into self-analysis, to observe ourselves and our behaviors. And if we talk specifically about Mercury itself, in retrograde it is of course definitely known for its effects on communication, our ability to travel, and generally on travel in general in life, on movements, as well as on technology, business, and trade. And during retrograde, we may encounter problems, Edie, in these areas of life. In particular, this can include problems with email, computer malfunctions, various misunderstandings in communication with others, and delays in travel and movement. In general, retrograde Mercury is our favorite. It is one of the most well-known and discussed topics in astrology, and its effects, of course, are felt very strongly. This is our personal planet. Mercury goes retrograde 3-4 times a year. Let's take a closer look at how this will manifest in our lives. So, Mercury is in Virgo in retrograde. Considering that it rules this sign, and Virgo is known for its heightened attention to detail, analytical nature, and overall desire for order, when Mercury is in retrograde in this sign, naturally its influence intensifies and its impact becomes more noticeable, specifically in those areas of life that are associated with the zodiac sign Virgo. Firstly, Virgo symbolically represents the 6th house, which is responsible for work, working conditions, and communication at work. Here in retrograde, mistakes and misunderstandings can occur. That is, the attention to detail inherent in Virgo may become more acute, and naturally the likelihood of minor mistakes and misunderstandings increases here. It's important to check everything multiple times, and of course, retrograde Mercury in Virgo will make us review our work processes, improve them, and make them more efficient. It's a great time to optimize work processes and fix any flaws. This also applies to our health, of course. And here there may be problems with the routine, there can be snags with the daily schedule, healthy habits, and disruptions, so to speak. If a healing process was established, there may be disruptions here. You may need to reconsider your diet or physical activity or even other aspects of your health. There may be unforeseen medical issues. Chronic illnesses may flare up unexpectedly, and old or forgotten medical problems may arise suddenly that will now require immediate attention and treatment. Speaking again about Virgo, this involves the activation and organization of domestic matters. In other words, this is about bringing order. This is a time when you may feel a very strong desire to organize your home, your workspace, and even your thoughts and feelings. And it's definitely a great moment, a great period for decluttering. Use it. Additionally, technical problems may arise, meaning household appliances and small devices might break down more often, work intermittently, and may require repair or replacement. This is about analytics and co-planning. And here we will need to review and rethink everything. In general, this period is favorable for revising any information, documents, and studying documents in more detail. Here, it may be necessary to return to old reports, projects, and research in order to update and correct them. And we also have a matter regarding the improvement of professional skills, and perhaps additional training or some exercises will be needed here. When talking about retrograde Mercury in Leo, of course, it will behave completely differently than in Virgo, because Leo is a sign associated with our self-expression, our leadership potential, creative manifestation, and in general, Leo gives us a certain theatricality, a certain drama in life when Mercury goes retrograde in this sign. Its influence on communication, our thoughts, and our movements acquires characteristics associated with the energies of the zodiac sign Leo, and here potentially misunderstandings in self-expression may arise. That is, there may be difficulty specifically in the clarity of expressing one's thoughts and ideas. People might simply not understand what you are trying to convey, and especially if it is related to public speaking or some kind of creative activity. If your work, for example, is connected with this, misunderstandings may arise. By the way, Mercury in Leo will be from mid-August, meaning it will be in retrograde motion in Leo, starting around August 15th. Additionally, conflicts may arise here due to our ego, because Leo is naturally ruled by the sun and is associated with our self-esteem and ego. During the period when Mercury is retrograde in Leo, conflicts may often arise based on misunderstandings or even excessive pride. Additionally, retrograde Mercury in Leo will provide an opportunity to reevaluate our creative projects and initiatives and to revisit some old creative ideas. Maybe you started a project and abandoned it. Now is the perfect time to return to it and either complete or improve it. Additionally, retrograde Mercury in Leo can create blocks in our creativity, leading to temporary creative crises or doubts in our abilities. It is, of course, very beneficial to engage in self-analysis and work on eliminating these blocks. This period is very well suited for this. Also, if you are a leader of some activity or the head of a corporation, for example, an organization or a firm, you may encounter difficulties in communicating with your teams, which will also cause disruptions in work. You can analyze these situations, reassess your leadership qualities in terms of management approaches, and perhaps change some methods or strategies in your work. Of course, retrograde Mercury will affect our personal relationships and personal life. There will be a resolution of old relationships. People from the past may appear, demanding your attention and the resolution of some old conflicts. There will also be increased emotionality, and considering that conflict will be present in personal romantic relationships, it is very important to, of course, remain calm and patient and resolve any misunderstandings. And now let's consider a number of aspects that retrograde Mercury will be making throughout the entire month of August, considering that from August 4th, retrograde Mercury begins to conjunct with Venus, which moved into Virgo on the 5th. The aspect will be converging and gaining strength. Let me remind you that a conjunction always brings events into our lives. Naturally, depending on which house of your horoscope it occurs in, that is the area it will affect. I definitely want to discuss this conjunction in additional videos because it will have a special energy, a very special influence. And I am also very curious about how the energies of this conjunction will manifest in your life. Nevertheless, the conjunction itself will provide an opportunity to review and reassess relationships, focusing on details, some details in relationships. And here, our personal creative expression might also involve more logic, meaning we might want to express our thoughts and feelings more through written forms or other means of communication that require logic and structure from us. This conjunction may also bring back old acquaintances, former partners, or colleagues with whom you haven't been in contact for a long time, giving you the opportunity to renew relationships or resolve some conflicts and misunderstandings. It will also provide an opportunity to reassess your financial matters, because Venus is associated with money. Additionally, this conjunction may lead to medical checkups, situations related to your work, especially where you need to review and correct something in your job, and it may cause delays and confusion in communications or some misunderstandings in communications. In any case, the exact conjunction will occur on August 8th at 6:11 a.m. and I am very curious to see how this conjunction will play out for you. We will definitely discuss it in additional videos, and it will be in effect until August 11th inclusive. On August 12th, we have a square between retrograde Mercury in Virgo and Uranus in Taurus. Of course, it will definitely create very dynamic and tense energy, which can lead to unexpected changes and surprises related to communication, technology, and our daily affairs. Consider where, in which area of life, in which house of your horoscope this square will occur. Nevertheless, symbolically, Mercury in Virgo tells us about an analytical and detailed approach to everything, and its retrograde motion forces us to review and correct some mistakes, naturally. The square with Uranus can cause unforeseen problems with documents, transportation, communication, and technology. And Uranus in Taurus, of course, will add an element of unpredictability, which will require us to be flexible, meaning we need to quickly adapt to the situation. There may be unexpected news, sudden changes in plans, and naturally this can cause stress and anxiety. Nevertheless, this square can also bring unexpected solutions, original decisions regarding daily affairs, which will naturally lead to a certain breakthrough or improvement of some outdated systems or approaches at work. For example, in the realm of business and work, there could potentially be a computer system failure in the office. Naturally, this will undoubtedly cause delays and affect the execution of important work processes. On August 15th, Mercury in retrograde motion will return to Leo and conjunct the Sun, which is also located in the zodiac sign Leo, create energy that will indeed focus on our self-expression and our creativity. This is a time when our old ideas and projects may once again take a prominent place in our lives, but they will require us to review and refine them. The Sun in Leo generally amplifies the desire to be noticed and recognized, while retrograde Mercury encourages us to reevaluate both past communications and our creative efforts, and there may be a need to return to old plans. Review previously made decisions, make adjustments, and improve something. During this time, it is very important to pay attention to details and avoid impulsive decisions, because the desire to express oneself can overshadow our objective perception of the situation. On August 19th, retrograde Mercury is a direct participant in the full moon in Aquarius, and we will talk about it in separate additional videos about full moons for all zodiac signs. On August 21st, retrograde Mercury will be in sextile with Mars in Gemini, creating an energy that will specifically promote productive communications, but communications that need to be revisited. In other words, this aspect opens up the possibility for effectively resolving some old communication issues, completing previously started projects, but with new ideas and new approaches. Here it is Mars that gives us this opportunity, this energy. Retrograde Mercury in Ova will prompt us to revisit certain issues and themes in life that are connected to our self-expression and creativity. And Mars in Gemini will provide energy and determination in both communication and intellectual activities. And there are possible situations where it is necessary to review, reformulate your ideas, and find new ways to implement them. This is a favorable time to work on projects that require collaboration and active information exchange. Unexpected and very constructive discussions, debates, and arguments may indeed arise here, which will help bring clarity and advance the development process. Overall, the energies of this aspect will promote initiative and finding unconventional solutions, especially in complex situations. On August 24th, we will have a sextile with Jupiter in Gemini. Of course, a sextile is an energy that you need to capture in your own time and use to your advantage. This sextile creates favorable conditions for reviewing and expanding our ideas, our knowledge, and communication with the people around us. In other words, the aspect supports the process of returning to previously started projects and educational goals in order to improve, supplement, and open up new perspectives. Retrograde Mercury in Alva specifically promotes deep analysis and emphasizes our focus on a creative approach. Jupiter in Gemini adds optimism and enthusiasm here. expanding our horizons of thinking. Here, situations are possible where old ideas or plans will simply get a second wind, find support and recognition because they will be updated and reviewed. In other words, it's a great time. To acquire and update your knowledge, participate in various educational events, engage in teaching activities, publish, and generally expand your network of contacts. It is very important to consider the indicators of your natal chart and see if an aspect is synchronized with the indicators of your chart. If it is, it will work and bring you events and situations. If not, do not attract the aspect into your life. Just live through what is actually written in your chart. I am giving a general forecast. It is important to understand how external aspects work and how they synchronize with our internal aspects according to the natal chart. On the evening of August 29th, Mercury will fully go direct in the zodiac sign of Leo. And be sure to rewatch the video on how Mercury behaves in Leo on my channel for all zodiac signs. And now let's look at the detailed retro Mercury forecast for all 12 signs. And I will provide information on retrogradation both in general and for the zodiac sign Leo. Aquarians, retrograde Mercury is transiting through your 8th and 7th houses of the horoscope. Until August 15th, this is the 8th house of the horoscope in retrograde Mercury in Virgo. It draws your attention to topics of other people's finances, the intimate side of life and personal relationships, esotericism, and personal transformations. This is all part of our 8th house of the horoscope. And Mercury is in Virgo. I have separate videos on my channel. You can watch how Mercury behaves in Virgo. Of course, it's about precision, it's about details, it's about an analytical and critical approach to everything happening in our 8th house of the horoscope, considering that this is retrograde Mercury. It will be necessary to review, rethink, redo, generally adjust, correct mistakes, complete something, and bring it to a completely new level of development. To work through the energies of retrograde Mercury in your 8th house of the horoscope and harmonize them. With your states, be sure to pay attention to these themes related to the 8th house of the horoscope. Be sure to engage in dialogues, communications, and discussions with your partner in your personal life to improve the intimate side of life and strengthen your bond. When it comes to other people's finances, it's definitely important to settle debts and resolve financial issues, to pay off and get rid of these obligations. Retrograde Mercury creates just such conditions. Additionally, if investment topics were relevant to you at some point and then you abandoned the idea, now is a good time to revisit and reconsider it. You might study new information to launch new projects, new financial projects. Additionally, from August 15th, Mercury will return to Leo, and this will be your 7th house of the horoscope. Of course, you will need to reassess all types of your relationships, starting from business relationships and partnerships, and ending with personal, marital, and romantic ones. This also includes relationships with clients and even relationships with open enemies. They may become active and return here. During retrograde Mercury, old and former admirers, suitors, and partners return to us. Therefore, expect returns here. And if there were any conflicts, misunderstandings, or miscommunications, now is the best time to resolve these situations through dialogue. Additionally, to adjust and harmonize retrograde Mercury in Leo in your 7th house of the horoscope, pay real attention, specifically to your relationships. Resolve conflicts and relationships that no longer bring you joy. And focus on development. Review and adjust your expectations in personal relationships and marital relationships. Be sure to reassess your professional and business partnerships. There might have been some misunderstanding. Now is the perfect time to discuss it with your partners. It is good to return to some old projects and ideas and discover some insights and revelations to implement them. Let me remind you that implementation should start in September, while in August with retrograde Mercury, we review, redo, correct, and fix things. In any case, I wish you success during this transit. Subscribe, like, share this video, and in the comments let us know from which perspective you view the forecasts. See you, bye-bye.